Hello everyone, I wanted just to move away just for a quick video away from Cubase for a second. I wanted to show you Kontakt, which is a sampler built by Native Instruments. Now, the reason I wanted to show you this, well, there's a couple of reasons. One is it's the industry standard sampler, so a lot of developers write for their content for Kontakt. But also, over the last sort of 8 months, I've been using something called Piano Book, which is a resource for sounds and instruments. It was founded by Christian Henson, who's got a fantastic YouTube channel I'll show you in a second. And he also is a co-owner of Spitfire Audio. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's great for orchestral, piano, choir, so many different things they do. And they also have a free instrument sound set, which I'm going to show you as well. So if we just have a look, this is Christian's website. It's definitely worth checking out for anything music technology related, whether it be careers in music, for writing for TV, demonstrations of instruments, miking techniques. He covers just about everything in this channel, so it's definitely worth checking him out for that. He also owns this company called co-owns or whatever, Spitfire Audio. Now, if you look at their product list, they've got a lot of stuff on here, and some of the stuff is quite pricey. But the one thing I like about this company is that they always try to be as inclusive as possible, I suppose. So if you're just doing production for a hobby, or you're just getting into production, they quite often have deals where they do sales and stuff. But they also do this thing called labs, which is fantastic, really good. And we will get into this as well, this labs, because what you get with labs are loads of free instruments that you will get you a foot into the door, and the quality is amazing with them. So we will look at that. But if you look at Spitfire Audio and click on labs, there's nothing stopping you having you can download all of them in one go and experiment with them. And it's exactly the same process of loading instruments like we did before, you know, when we took the past video where we had a look at the free synths. It'll be the same process. So we'll look at that. But I want to show you Piano Book quickly. So it's a resource that composers and sound designers can create content, upload it to it for other composers and sound designers to use. So it's fantastic, and I've really loved experimenting with it. So in our library, you can download any of these under the menu here and experiment with them. But the one downside is that you need Kontakt to run it. Now, Kontakt is developed by Native Instruments, and as you can see here, it's quite pricey to buy. But if you were interested in getting it, it's worth looking out for their sales. Certainly in the summer, they do a really good sale. I think maybe even 60% off in their summer sale. But it could be that they do Black Friday sales and things like that. But if you didn't want to spend the money on that for the time being, it's worth looking at Kontakt Player just to get used to how the sampler works. It looks exactly the same. It's just very much more limited in what you can do with it. But if you wanted just to experiment, it's worth registering and getting the free version of Kontakt Player. I'm going to show you how Kontakt looks in Cubase and what we can do with Piano Book as well in a second. So the other thing that's worth mentioning about Kontakt is they do something called Complete Native Instruments. Now, as I say, it's always worth waiting for perhaps the sale for them. But with Complete, it's not that much more expensive than Kontakt itself. And you get a load of instruments, like a lot of instruments. It's worth checking it out. I've got Complete Ultimate, and I think I haven't even installed all of them on my main computer because it's just endless. But they're there. So if I had to write for something and I knew I needed a world instrument or an instrument I hadn't already downloaded, I can get it from their site instantaneously, just the download. So okay, so that's Kontakt. That's the one downside of what I'm showing you today, is if you haven't got Kontakt or Complete, it's quite an expensive investment, but do check out their sales. So once we go back to Piano Book, you can go through their library of sounds. I've just downloaded a few just to show you today what the idea. But the beauty of this is, if we say go to guitars and bass, it will show you all of the different instruments. Sorry, my internet's been a bit slow today. But once I go on one, so I can click on it, if anything that sort of looks quite interesting for me, and it gives you a story behind each one as well. So how they recorded it, and quite often a little bit about the composer or the sound designer that made it. It's as simple as doing the free download, putting your details in, and it will download as a zip file into your downloads. What I then did was made a Piano Book folder on my D drive, and I clicked on the zip files and extracted all of them to one location, which I called Piano Book on here today. So here we are in Cubase, and I'm just going to show you how Kontakt looks. So it will look like that when you first get it. So it comes with a factory selection of sounds, which is great in itself. And it's not only Piano Book that makes free VST instruments. There's quite a few out there, and I'll show you different ones as well as we go through different videos. But basically all we have to do is we can choose one of the sections. So I've gone to synths. I can double click on one of the synths and it will load up. And just like the free synths we looked at before, they'll play through there. You've got your volume control and panning and stuff, and we will look at Kontakt in more detail. But what I wanted to do today was look at it with this Piano Book. So one thing Piano Book doesn't do is load the instruments on this left-hand side window. So it's a bit more tricky to get to, but it's not a problem at all. We go to Files, we go to the directory or the folder we've made, and what I would then do, these are the ones I downloaded today to show you. I would then click on one of these, go to my instruments, and you see once I've clicked on it, you see we get these little instrument signs here. So I do a double click on there, and I've loaded up Acoustic Harmonics. And you can see just that one thing that the sound designer or composer has uploaded. It could be so useful for film and TV or anything you're doing as a layer inside your music. So we have let's have a look at something else. How about what have we got? Say a choir. So this is someone who's uploaded some choir sounds. And I'm not going to get into too much detail about what we can then do with this, but we will do at some point. Okay, how about I'm on guitar Shimmers, so let's see how that is. So which one should I choose? It's difficult to know which one to choose, so let's choose that, clean guitars. I'll turn up the volume slightly. As I say, they're worth, if you have Kontakt, definitely check them out. There's so many things on here that you can choose, and it's something that I want to do as well. I wouldn't mind getting into sampling, perhaps. I'm just thinking some natural sounds, but and trying to upload them here as well, and see if I can get a library used on here would be fantastic. But there's so many things if you have got Kontakt. But if you haven't got Kontakt, it's worth checking out Kontakt Player and experimenting with Kontakt Player. But check out Native Instruments and see if they've got any sales on at various times as well. Certainly, if you catch them in the summer, they do a summer sale. But as I say, I'm not sure when else they do them. But Native Instruments Complete is a really good package to have. It covers all the bases of just about every instrument you could think of. And also, if you do get time, check out Spitfire Audio Labs because it's something that we will look at, and Christian Henson's channel is definitely worth a look as well. Okay, good luck with that.